Today we are going to be going over a farming armor progression guide. In today's video we are going through the first farming armor all the way up in order to the last farming armor that you're going to need. This will not include anything like pets, enchantments, reforges, anything like that. I have separate videos on the channel explaining those things, but I get asked quite a lot about the farming armor progression, so I thought I'd make a video for you guys to be able to see so that you know how to go from 0 to hero. Real quick before we get into this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you are new. It really does mean a lot and I appreciate it so much. Like the video for more content like this, and let's just get straight into it. So at farming level 3 and week collection 3, you will unlock the farm suit. This is the first armor that you are going to need to get. Now, as you can see here, I have all the armor in the right progression. By the way, this wardrobe is from the SBE mod. You do not need it, but I'm going to show you this way for everyone to see. It goes from left to right in this order. We're going through all of this stuff, but the first armor set that you're going to need is the farm suit armor set. As said, you unlock this at farming level 3 and wheat collection 3. It takes exactly 216 wheat to make and gives you an extra 20 farming fortune. Moving down the line, when you hit farming level 10 and wheat collection 9, you'll be able to make farm armor. Now, you do not need the farm suit to be able to make it. It's its own thing, but it is the second farm armor that you will need. And as I said, farming level 10, wheat collection level 9. It will cost you 31,104 wheat to make, but you'll have to turn them into hay bales. I'm just giving you the raw material cost in terms of what it is to make these things here, or you could just buy it from auction house, whatever you want to do, however you want to do it, but I'm just letting you know what it does. And wearing the full armor set will give you a total of 40 farming fortune. Then as you start grinding a little bit more and getting up in the ranks, when you hit farming level 18, you will unlock something called farmer boots. Now, farmer boots are really good. They're got from the pumpkin collection, specifically pumpkin collection 9. And raw material cost is 40,960 pumpkin. Now, 41,000 pumpkin may sound like a lot. When you get into farming quite a lot, you'll be making that very quickly. Do not worry. The reason we're making farmer boots is because at farming level 21 and pumpkin collection 11, you'll be able to make rancher boots. Now, these are pretty much the standard go-to boots. These boots cost 409,600 pumpkin, as well as the farmer boots. They're an upgrade from the farmer boots, so you need the farmer boots to be able to make the rancher boots. And what's great about the rancher boots is you can set your speed. So it has a speed cap of up to 400, and if you're building super farms or if you want to farm every single crop, you can just use those boots and set the speed of which you want to farm. So for example, if you're farming like wheat, nether wart, something like that, and you're using the water depth strider 3 system, you'll use a speed of 93 on these boots. But then if you're farming sugarcane, you'll be using 328 speed. The way you figure this out is either someone telling you, i.e. me, or you just like test these things by yourself. I am going to be making shorts, whether it's on TikTok, YouTube, whatever it is, so check the channel, and I'm going to be going through every crop individually, making short form content on how to farm that crop specifically for that design. So make sure you check out those videos if you want to see how a specific crop is farmed. So farming level 21 and pumpkin collection 11 is how you get the rancher boots, and then you're pretty much getting into the proper grind. The next armor set is going to be the melon armor set. You unlock this at farming level 29 and melon collection 9. It will cost you a raw material total of 3 million melons to make, 3,072,000 to be exact. And all these pieces together will give you a total of 70 farming fortune. But with all of the remainder sets, I recommend using the rancher boots instead of the boots here. But it doesn't mean you shouldn't make the boots. I would definitely say make them. And the reason for that will become clear in a second. So as you can see, when I'm hovering over the melon armor here, it will have a tiered bonus. You need to get the melon set in order to drop what's called croppies. Croppies are what you need to make the croppie set. And then when you get croppie set, you'll drop something called squash, which is what you need to make the squash set, so on and so forth, all the way to fermento. So you need the previous set to be able to drop the things you need to make the next set, if that makes sense. Hopefully I've explained that in a way that's relatively simple. So the more of the armor pieces that you have, the more chance of the thing that you are going for you have to get. Now each set also does come with a tiered talisman, so you'll start with the Croppy one, getting with Melon. And then whilst on Croppy, you'll be able to get the Squash Talisman. And then whilst on Squash, you'll be able to get the Fermento Talisman. Now, personally, I upgraded the Talisman with my armor simply because it gave more fortune. So I needed it there and then. So I spent the time to upgrade it there and then. But if you forget, if you don't do it, don't worry too much, because once you have the Fermento armor, you can get all of the previous drops once you have the Fermento armor. Now, again, looking back at it, you'll see that with Melon, you'll get Croppy drops when farming wheat, carrots, or potatoes. If you farm, for example, Melon, you're not going to get any drops with the Melon armor. You have to farm wheat, carrot, and potatoes to get those Croppy drops. So once you have that Melon armor, farm wheat, carrot, or potatoes, and then you'll be able to drop Croppies, get the Croppy Talisman and the Croppy armor, which is a straight upgrade from the Melon. Now, for the Croppy armor, you need a farming level of 30. And I'm going to chuck the materials on the screen right now for you guys to see. So there are raw materials, which is straight from nothing. That is how much you need. And then underneath are the materials you need to upgrade from the previous set. I've also kept the Bazaar material cost in there because I'm aware that not everyone is an Iron Man like me. So if you want to Bazaar it, that's how much it's basically going to cost. In terms of how much it's going to cost, use it as a guide. Prices will change in a Bazaar, but roughly that's how much it's going to cost you and set you back. So that's farming level 30, and that is the Croppy armor. Then when you have the Croppy armor and the Croppy Talisman, again, guys, use the Rancher boots when doing all this. 3 of the pieces, and then use the Rancher boots for the rest of time. So when you have Croppies to make squash, you have to farm pumpkins, melons, and cocoa beans. That's what gives you the squash. Those are the 3 things you need to farm. Once you finish with the Croppy stuff, you can move on to the Squash armor, which you unlock at farming level 35. This armor in total will give you an extra 110 farming fortune. Each piece gives you X amount. Now, you'll see mine has 31 plus 6. This armor specifically says Bustling Squash Helmet. Do not worry about that. That is just the reforge itself. Again, I'm not going to be going over too much in terms of reforges, but Bustling is pretty decent. But Mossy is basically the best one if you really want to know. Overgrown grass turns into Mossy, or you can use Bustling up until that point. These are the raw materials you'll need from the Squash armor, as well as the materials you'll need to upgrade from the Croppy armor. Now, obviously, raw materials, it means you'll have to make the Melon and the Croppy first, but I'm just giving you both options here just so that you guys are aware. And with Squash, you have to farm sugarcane, cactus, mushroom, and netherworts to be able to get the Fermento drops for the Fermento armor and the talisman. You unlock that at level 40. So every 5 levels from 25 with the melon, you will unlock a new set. And at level 40, you will unlock the Fermento armor. Full Fermento armor set will give you an additional 130 farming fortune. Here are the raw materials in order to make it, and the raw materials to upgrade from the Squash armor. As I said, once you have this armor, you can then get all of the Squash, the Croppy, and Fermento drops again. So the way it works, I don't know if you noticed, but every single crop has a different drop. So if you look at the first ones, you have wheat, carrots, potatoes. Then you have pumpkins, melons, cocoa beans. Then you have sugarcane, cactus, mushroom, and netherwort. So that's every single crop, but each crop has a different drop. You need to use the right armor on that crop to drop the thing. The reason it all has different things is because once you have the Fermento armor, you can then farm any crop and get the drop that that crop gives. That was a mouthful. So don't worry if you missed anything, if you didn't quite get the right thing. Maybe you're only at the Croppy Talisman, you want to level up to Squash and Fermento. You can use the Fermento armor, farm, for example, pumpkins, and you will get Squash from it. Farm, for example, sugarcane, you will get Fermento from it. So you will get the drops in respective. Now, just like the other armor sets, the more pieces you have, the more chances you have, but make sure you use those Rancher boots for those respective crops. Now, make sure you get your accessories from the desk and give them the rooted reforge from borrowed spores, which you get from mushrooms. As you can see from the latest Mining V3 update, you can get gemstones on the armors now. So from Croppy, you can start adding gemstones, and you can get up to 2 perfect gemstones on each armor piece, as well as the Rancher boot. So get the Peridot gemstones. They give farming fortune, so your farming fortune will be higher. As I said earlier, the Mossy reforge from Overgrown Grass, which you can get from the visitors, or you can just buy it, you know, if you want. Things like Exterminator books, Harvesting 6, and Green Thumb are all relatively good enchants to have in general. Now, you can get the Pest Talisman, have it in your inventory and turn it off if you don't want too many pests to spawn. With the Pest Terminator books, as you see here, it increases your bonus pest chance. So it increases the amount of pests which will spawn, but you can turn these off with the Pest Talisman, if I show you here quickly. So with this Pest Hunter artifact here, it's used to enable or disable the bonus pest chance stat. So I have one of these on my Iron Man in my inventory. I turn it off, so any pest bonus things that I have disabled, but I still get the fortune that you get from it. So Pest Terminator grants fortune, but I can turn the bonus pest chance off with the pest artifact. So make sure that you do that for a little cheeky thing. I know a lot of people use pests for money making and all that stuff. I personally don't want to farm too many of them because I'd rather just farm the crops myself, but that's one thing you can do to get around it. And that's pretty much it. Obviously using the right pets and things like that, but I have other videos for those specifically. This is mainly focusing on the armor itself. I hope this video has been a help to you guys, and if you want more tutorials / videos, let me know. If you want me to go through any other armor sets or any other thing like that, let me know down below. I'll make a video on it for you guys. If you want to check out my Iron Man journey or just me playing Hypixel in general, then come check out my live streams over on Twitch and TikTok. Links will be in the description down below, either separately or in the link tree. Make sure you join the Discord to see the schedule for when we go live and things like that. Become a member here on YouTube to see videos up to the day before anyone else. And more than anything, have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope that you have an amazing day. And if you haven't seen any of my other videos, check out these ones here.